listening to the PB&J podcast, where I document the life and times of an entry-level product designer in 20-minute episodes every Sunday. So I have great news. This podcast ranked top 200 podcasts under the tech category in Nigeria. And I got this information from Chartable.com, which is legit, guys. So I actually received an email. I thought it was spam, but I did some research and I checked it on Reddit, checked it out on... I just Googled it essentially and fact-backed it on Reddit, and it's actually legit. So it turns out the PB&J podcast ranked top 200 under the tech category in Nigeria. So it ranked 115, which is great, honestly. That's like top 120, actually. So yeah, I was really happy to receive that because I was feeling kind of... I don't know, I just kind of feel like this podcast is a bit unserious compared to a lot of the design podcasts I listen to. They're like talking about, the economic and financial state of the world and building revenue and, revolutionizing UX and whatnot. And then I'm like here talking about how I'm just a girl. Yeah. So for a bit there, I kind of felt like this podcast was kind of unserious. But at the end of the day, it's not necessarily to educate. I think and I always say this, I'm really just documenting my journey, and that's really all this is, to be honest. And I just hope that it's useful to entry-level designers out there that want a authentic and very vulnerable and genuine documentation, I guess, of a fellow entry-level designer's product design journey. So yeah, that's essentially what this is. But yeah, I was really glad to receive that email. Hopefully we can, get higher up in the ranks, and I guess we'll see where it goes. I'm not a podcaster. I don't consider myself a podcaster. Like I said, this is purely for documentation purposes. And yeah, for now, I'm not really looking to monetize this. So yeah, I guess we'll see where it goes. But for now, I'm really just enjoying documenting the process. And yeah, that's about it. So thank you guys so much for listening and for helping us reach top 120 podcasts under the tech category in Nigeria. I've gotten a lot of requests. Well, not requests. I guess people just like asking if I would have guests on the podcast, and honestly I would love to. I just don't feel like we're there yet because I don't know, I guess I haven't really planned it out. I don't really plan, like with this podcast, I don't plan extensively. A lot of it is on vibes, and it's just 20 minutes of that. So I haven't really, I thought about it, but haven't really, been intentional towards that. But like, I guess come season 2, because this is season 1, come season 2, yeah, I'll definitely consider having guests on the podcast. And if you have any recommendations, let me know, and I will try my best. Okay, we'll see where it goes. Yeah. So today, let's just recap on what has been going on so far. I've made tremendous progress with my portfolio. Like, it's pretty much ready. The website itself is ready. It's not the website, sorry. The prototype is ready, right? But the content, so that's the case studies itself, I haven't... I'm still working on that, okay? But the portfolio prototype website, wherever, is ready. Like, it's there, it's beautiful, it's, oh my gosh, I love it so much. I'm so proud of it. I did like little animation gifs of myself, like a cartoon animation of myself, and I think it's so cute, and I really love my portfolio so far. Now I'm working on the case studies. So my issue now is, since it's on Figma, and that's what I'm going to be sending out in applications, because just so the recruiter sees that I can actually use Figma So my portfolio, I plan on having it, I mean, the actual link is a Figma prototype link, right? There's a tendency for it to lag. So I don't want the case studies to be another link to another Figma page. Instead, I'm going to have it link to a Google document, basically, of the case study, right? So I would still design the case study, the actual like layout. You know how they document case studies on Behance, like sort of in that way, but then on a Google document, because I think it's just, I'm not sure. I mean, I'm still like testing it out, seeing what works. But right now, what's in my head is having the layout and the designs and whatnot on Figma, exporting that, and then putting it into Google Doc so that whoever clicks on the case study on my portfolio, it just routes them to a Google document of the case study, so that the Figma prototype presentation doesn't lag too much. Because I think when it has a lot of elements and whatnot, and interactions and all that, it's heavier and it tends to lag. So I'm trying to prevent that and have it load faster for the recruiter, of course. Let them not click out of my portfolio because it's taking too long to load. So yeah, so that's the plan. I guess we'll see how it goes. I'm still testing it out, but I'm really proud of how it's turned out so far. And I'm really excited. Also, somebody so graciously offered to buy me a domain name. So I have a domain name. And I have a personalized email address. So that's amazing. I'm able to host the Figma prototype presentation link under that domain name. So when they click on the domain name, which is it's marinowal.co. When the recruiter clicks on that, it links them to the Figma prototype presentation, which is my portfolio, and then whatever. Yeah. So I think it's really cool. I also have a personalized email, which I think is also super cool and looks very professional. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really excited for my portfolio. So yeah, I'm glad that I'm making progress with that. Also, I'm just really grateful for the people that are just around me. I sound like such a valley girl. For the designers that I'm just surrounded by. I'm surrounded by lots of amazing designers that have been very helpful in my journey. And I think that's something really important for if you're starting out in design. I think it's important that you surround yourself with like-minded people. Do you get what I mean? So it's the same way when I was in school. I was studying something that I did not want to practice. I knew from the very beginning I was not going to practice. And imagine, being in school, having 4 years ahead of you, studying something that you do not enjoy. It's hard to stay motivated and do well, So how I overcame that challenge was to surround myself with people that were serious about school and prioritize doing well. And that just made it so much easier for me to read and study, because we would have study groups and we would just check up on each other and, just like, I guess, in a way, be accountable to one another. So yeah, I think it's important to surround yourself with like-minded designers that motivate you and drive you, I guess, to keep going and not feel discouraged in your journey. So definitely do that. One thing I noticed about designers is, I don't know if this is, I can't say for other careers, but specifically for designers, product designers, we don't gatekeep. Like, everybody's putting everything out there. I mean, in my experience so far, I hope I'm not proven wrong. But yeah, I feel like designers don't gatekeep, and everybody seems very open to help other designers. And I think that's really nice. I love that it's just everybody uplifting, designers uplifting other designers, and I think that's really great. But yeah, so I'm grateful for that. I recently joined another design community. So yeah, design communities are great. I joined another design community called PD Ladies, so Product Design Ladies, and they're actually based in London. And it's a mix of lots of things. So they have a Discord group, they have a WhatsApp group. I'm more active on their WhatsApp group, and I recently joined their book club. So on their WhatsApp group, it's a mix of designers from all sorts of fields and specializations, but we're all women. and it's great. I feel sometimes overwhelmed because I'm just transitioning to design, and then they're having these very advanced, I would say, conversations about design, and I'm like, what are you guys even talking about? But I think it's just an opportunity to learn more, because I'm hearing about Hotjar, and I'm like, what is Hotjar? And just like a lot of tools, very advanced tools that designers use in like top companies, and it's overwhelming, but just also really interesting, I will say, to learn about. So it just makes me feel like, oh my gosh, I have so much more. I have a long way to go. I have so much to learn, because sometimes I'm like, is this the same design that I'm learning about that these guys are talking about? It's a lot, but it's interesting, I will say. I think the good outweighs the bad, definitely. And I recently joined the book club. So I deleted my social media again. I deleted my TikTok and my Instagram, because I've been super distracted and doom scrolling. Okay. We've all been there. So I deleted my social media to refocus and get back into the grind. I really want to make out time to read design books. I've been recommended a few already, and I started reading them, but I haven't found the time to finish. And I know it's because, not just because of work, but also because I haven't prioritized, it's not something I've prioritized. So now I really want to prioritize reading design books and finishing them, and actually actively learning from the books I'm reading. And so a step I took towards that is joining this book club, and I think this will motivate me and push me to actually finish the books, because we have to discuss them in the book club, and I hope I see it through. But yeah, so that's also something really exciting that's happened. I'll let you guys know how it goes. But if you're interested in joining PD Ladies, I guess I'll link it down below, and you can check it out and see if it's something that's up your alley. What else? I think that's about it that's been going on. Oh yeah, okay, so another thing I'm kind of struggling with, I don't know how freelancers do it, because I know freelancers, you get to pick and choose which projects you want to work on. But how do you navigate prioritizing which projects to work on? And say, for instance, you're working on a project and another one comes up that is a better opportunity than the current project you're working on. How do you, discern and pick which or which not to work on? Because currently I'm struggling with that. So I have multiple projects that I have the opportunity to work on. Okay, some are personal projects, some aren't personal projects. Some are projects that I'm working on with other groups of designers. And it's so hard for me to prioritize and pick. I don't know. It's just like there's so many things I have to do, and I don't know which one to start off with, because I'm like, oh, I'm going to start with this project. But then this other project really needs my attention. Should I just start off with that? But then this one has a deadline. And oh my God, it's like a lot. And I end up not completing anything, which is really bad. And it's I think it's a multitasking thing. I find myself multitasking with projects, and it's bad because I don't end up completing. Or it just takes me a longer time to actually complete one, and I don't have anything to document as a case study. Do you get what I mean? So that's something I'm really struggling with right now. Just hunkering down on one project and completing it. I'm instead multitasking and jumping from one project to the other, which is really bad. So how do you guys do it? If you're listening to this podcast and you've mastered the art of prioritizing projects and completing them from start to finish, please shoot me a DM and let me know how you manage it, because I'm really struggling with that. Just like knowing which projects to prioritize. Yeah, so that's something I'm struggling with. Hopefully I find a solution, because it's actually a problem. So yeah, so that's what's up with me, guys. Thank you so much for ranking us at number 115 under the tech category podcasts in Nigeria. Let's keep the good vibes going. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you guys again next week, Sunday. Bye bye.